The perfect football strength program exists. It just begins with knowing the vision. You need to set clear goals, dream big, and succeed where most people fail. We're gonna break down the perfect strength training program for football, and all you gotta do is click down in the description and follow along in the rest of this video and where to start, right? So knowing the vision is the first of 6 key parts behind that perfect strength training program. And to achieve big dreams like playing in the NFL or going Division I or bench pressing 315 for a lot of reps, maybe back squatting double body weight, you have to set these clear goals to help achieve that progress. From knowing the vision, the next big factor is gonna be find the limiting factor, okay? And if we look at football has 3 major components. First, strength. Second, dynamic trunk control. Third, we're gonna be focusing on speed. Each one of these can manifest a limiting factor in the capacity of our athletes, in this case, football players. And that limiting factor is going to be the problem that's inhibiting you from achieving that goal. And we can figure that out or diagnose the issue through benchmarks and through testing. So if we test our athletes and we look at what those benchmarks are, this helps expose that potential limiting factor. So a good example, maybe you run a 4.9 40 and you're a running back, but you only back squat 1.5 times your body weight. One of your limiting factors is probably actually going to be that max strength. There's a fair amount of data that will show that increasing that back squat from 1.5 times body weight, potentially to 2 times body weight, will automatically increase your speed as long as you're still doing some other speed-based training. Maybe you're running a 5.3, 5.10, 5, and you single leg squat less than your body weight. This is going to be a glaring limiting factor. You then need to improve your leg strength to enhance your transient speed. Maybe you're slow off the ball. Maybe your vertical jump is less than 25 inches. A very quick way to look at this is say, all right, if we know that this person has a slow first step, let's try to improve their clean. Their clean is gonna have a direct correlation to their impulse capabilities. If we can enhance impulse, which is force applied in a designated period of time, we can then improve their first step and subsequently their vertical jump. Maybe another limiting factor with your upper body is that your upper body is strong but slow. We work on explosive push-ups, maybe we work on our behind the neck jerk. That's gonna improve our upper body impulse capability to help shed those blockers at a higher rate. The easiest way to look at this is where there is a goal, there needs to be a test. Where there is a test, there needs to be a benchmark. So now the vision is established, we understand the tests, we're looking at those benchmarks. The next factor after we do those first 3 things now is that we provide a remedy. And this is done through program solving. Program solving is planning the approach to fix the problem and to be consistent. And speaking of consistency, the garage strength way is the master key. So from knowing the vision to finding the limiting factor to then program solving, the next key aspect is the garage strength way. That's the 4th element, which we're gonna dive a little bit deeper into. So what exactly is that 4th element? The garage strength way, the 4th element is to execute 4 for 4. 1, it's the key aspect behind creating actionable items. 2, it's creating consistency, and it goes like this. You start off by doing 4 days of exercising in 1 week. That's proving out that you are capable of success. The next aspect, you're gonna do 4 days for 4 weeks. That's proving out that you're gonna smash a PR. Then the next step is you're gonna train 4 days for 4 weeks for 4 months. That's where we're gonna start to smash through those plateaus. And there are 5 days a week that can be trained to hit those 4 days. It can start off with that leg power day. It can get into that upper body power day. You can use athlete day. You can use impulse day. You can use hypertrophy day. And so you're gonna continue training in this manner over 4 seasons, which is going to transform your athletic ability. And then finally, you're gonna do this for 4 years. That's when you're fully going to embrace living that freak life. And I wanna help you build out your own plan of 4 for 4 with our free template. And all you have to do is click on the link down in the description to get that entire free blueprint to help build that perfect football program. And what that template shows, it's gonna tell you specific days. It's gonna tell you specific exercise selection, rep schemes, and even how you can break that down throughout the entire year. And ultimately, that's how you're gonna help your own athletes become absolute freaks. And as you use the template to move through that 4-for-4, you're gonna also want to master the details. Mastering details means going above and beyond to mastering the craft. Mastering the craft means you have to keep that protein and carb intake sufficient. You know exactly what nutrition you need. It means dialing in your recovery, optimizing your overall mobility, warming up effectively for those specific training sessions, and getting enough sleep. Along with mastering recovery, we have to master our lifting technique. How are we gonna brace our core when we're squatting? How are we going to execute a clean or a snatch effectively so that it transfers over to the gridiron? It also means dutiful preparation to master those details. We should be watching film, reading books like GSPD or parabolic periodization, and even completing courses like the Sports Performance Bible. For instance, you can learn it all by just understanding the basic breakdown of an entire day of training. So besides athlete day, if we look at how the 4 key days are gonna be broken down, we're gonna start off with a technical coordination movement. Then 2A and 2B might be an absolute strength exercise that's paired together. Then 3A and 3B are gonna be hypertrophy exercises or accessories. And then we might finish off with some type of dynamic trunk control movement to help build a better organism, to help build a better player, with minor variations based upon different reps, sets, and training intentions. All of that is necessary and well and good, but we have to remember that football is a team sport. And that brings us to the 6th element of the perfect football strength program. An individual within a team needs to win together to achieve that goal. And to win together and reach those goals, it's imperative that you have those training partners lined up. That helps you be more accountable. That helps you achieve greatness by working together. And winning together and having those training partners and developing that entire team aspect is what leads to the development of culture. Culture is when everybody knows what has to happen, when everybody steps in the gym and they're gonna raise that intensity to that next level, when everyone is gonna hold one another more accountable to achieve that greatness. And now that group travels through those 5 phases. So now the culture creates that anticipation to keep training through that 4-for-4, to keep working through those 5 phases of training. You start off with the exposure phase, you get into the comprehension phase, then you get into the ascension phase, the summit phase, you start to peak in that realization phase. And all this is gonna occur through 3 junctures of the entire year. You're gonna have off-season 1, off-season 2, and then you're gonna have the in-season period where you're going to use rolling compensation. So we started off with how many times you need to train each and every week. We discussed those key exercises that you need to use, but the main factor here is that you have to execute the entire program. You have to execute the entire system if you want to achieve those specific goals. Coaches, training partners, parents, friends, everybody has to be part of that journey to becoming a freak. They have to be part of that journey to becoming a champion. And that's the whole reason why we put together this template. We want you to take this, look at those visions, establish your goals, understand what you have to do week in, week out, every single day for the next 4 freaking years so that you can become a champion. Because remember, freaks, if you want to become a champion, you've always got to cultivate your power. Peace.